Hola a todos y bienvenidos a Aventuras de Blackwood. Continuamos con Asesinato de Orient Express. Algo me dice que Foucher nos va a decir algo. ¿Por qué no me deja pasar? Sí, Foucher, le estoy tocando el culo. Oh yeah.
Here is your key. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
About the little favor I asked of you.
Aha, but of course. I was able to get new allergy forms from guests who were in their compartments. Monsieur McQueen, Monsieur Masterman, Count and Countess Andreni, they are all right-handed. I also asked Princess Dragomirov, but she had her assistant, Madame Schmidt, sign for her. She is right-handed as well.
You have exceeded my expectations. Well done. Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions.
Es cierto. Que no hemos interrogado a Mori. Se me había olvidado completamente. Usted. Dos
How
hostias.
are you?
It's better. Thank you.
Then may I ask you some questions? It will not take long.
Quickly, please. I have hungry passengers to feed.
Soy uno de esos pasajeros.
Très bien. Can you tell me your movements last night?
Oh, nothing special. When I went off duty,
Mientras no lea,
John and Freya in a compartment. I read for a short while, then went to bed early.
Reading? I'm not sure you have recovered enough to tell me the truth. Don't waste what little energy you have recovered to lie, Monsieur Mori.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Poirot. You're right. It obviously wasn't reading that made my head hurt like that. But if you told Monsieur Book, it could mean my job.
I will keep your secret, but I am investigating a murder. You must tell me the truth.
Thank you.
Please write your address on this paper.
My address? I don't see why.
I think I hear Monsieur Book approaching.
My address? Yes, of course.
suficiente.
A right-handed person. Not surprising, most people are.
Quitando Book, creo que... o Book ya sabemos que es diestro. Creo que ya tenemos a todos menos a la princesa Dragomirov. Así que solamente nos quedaría ella por eliminación.
You are a heavy smoker.
My job. It is very stressful.
Would you happen to know who vapes on the train? A banana flavor?
Banana.
Oh, yes. The smell disgusts me. What is wrong with the good tobacco?
I do not have time to answer that. Who is it?
I've only seen one person who vapes. It's Captain Arbuthnot.
Captain Arbuthnot. I see.
El capitán No Arbus.
Your testimony was invaluable to me. Thank you. Take care, Monsieur Mori. My palate depends on your good health.
Perfecto. Podríamos hablar con Abernathy. Con el capitán Arbusto. Arbuthnot. Prefiero llamar a Arbusto, la verdad. O sea, Dragomirov es un nombre más fácil de pronunciar que Arbuthnot. Es que hay que pensarlo mucho para decir Arbuthnot. Capitán Arbuthnot. A ver, el capitán Arbusto estaba... ¿aquí? No. Capitán Arbusto.
Captain Arbuthnot, I know that you are the only person on this train to smoke e-cigarettes. We found a vial of e-liquid at the crime scene. Will you talk to me about this, or should I pass on what I've learned to the police?
All right. Come in if you must.
Perfecto. Capitán Arbusto, quédese ahí. Voy a investigar sus... Capitán Arbusto no tiene nada. Es que no tiene nada, no tiene equipaje. No tiene equipaje, no tiene nada. Es decir, no tiene equipaje directamente. No hay maleta.
I have just a few questions for you.
Very well. Let's hear them.
The young English lady, Mademoiselle Debenham, was at the Tocatlian Hotel. Perhaps you met her there?
We exchanged a few words. Fellow Brits abroad, that sort of thing.
No.
What can you tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham?
Nothing whatsoever. We barely spoke.
The director of the Orient Express, Monsieur Bouc, thinks the assassin is a woman.
And that is enough to accuse her? She had nothing to do with this murder.
How can you be so certain?
The idea is absurd. Ratchet was a perfect stranger to her. She'd never seen him before.
Ah, did she tell you so?
Well, yes, maybe she did. She may have commented once upon his somewhat unpleasant appearance. If a woman is concerned, as you seem to think, to my mind, without any evidence, I can assure you that Miss Debenham could not possibly be implicated.
It is clear that the captain is defending Miss Debenham, a woman he supposedly doesn't know very well. What were you doing last night around 1:15?
1:15? I believe I was still talking to that young American fellow, Mr. McQueen, the secretary of the man who was killed. We were in his compartment.
He was a friend or acquaintance of yours?
No, I never saw him before this journey. We'd hit it off at dinner, and the conversation continued into the early hours.
Until what time was that?
Until 1:45 or so. Then I retired to my room and went to sleep.
Vale, esto es una cosa que no entiendo. ¿Por qué sigue preguntando sobre la 1:15 cuando hemos descartado la 1:15 como la hora de la muerte? Sabemos que ha sido entre las 12:15 y 1:15. La hora exacta no la recuerdo, pero es cuando alguien habló en francés en la habitación de Ratchet. Entonces, no sé, a menos que quiera que piensen que sigue engañado por esa hora y así se relajen y cuenten lo que han hecho antes. Sería una forma.
There is nothing you can recall last night that in any way struck you as suspicious?
It's nothing. A mere detail.
Allow me to be the judge.
Well, before returning to my room, I went to the lounge car to get a glass of water. When I was passing through the first-class corridor, I noticed that the door, which is just after your room, 201, was not quite closed, and the person who was inside peered out, in a furtive sort of way. Then he closed the door quickly. I know there's nothing in that, but it was the furtive way it was done that caught my attention. Struck me as a bit odd.
I understand. Thank you for letting me know.
El furtivismo.
Could you write down your address here, please?
My address? If you insist.
This man is right-handed.
Nos faltaba este también. Ya no sé ni quién es diestro y quién es zurdo. Ya. Es decir, todos son diestros menos alguien. Y no sé. Ya he perdido la cuenta de quién me falta.
Is this e-cigarette liquid yours?
What flavor is it?
Banana.
Banana.
Well, that is awkward. That's my flavor of choice. But I have no idea what it was doing there, whatever.
Can you explain how it ended up there?
I have no idea. I never entered the man's room, Poirot. That's the truth.
Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome.
Veamos, ¿en qué punto estamos? Tenemos un algo. Y sus coartadas.
Captain Arbuthnot is the only passenger to smoke an e-cigarette. Even if this liquid in Ratchet's room is a solid clue, he has an alibi. I cannot accuse him without any other proof. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Vale, ¿y ahora qué? Interrogar. Me falta un pasajero por interrogar. A menos que... No, será la nueva pista. 201. Que es el juguetero. ¿No? Entiendo que esta sigue durmiendo.
How is Mademoiselle Locke, Doctor?
Her vital signs are improving, but she is still unconscious.
I understand. Thank you for looking after her. Pardon this intrusion, Mademoiselle Olsen, but something you told me earlier confuses me.
Oh, please, come in.
Dar el sueño profundo.
How can you be sure Mademoiselle Debenham was in bed all night?
As I told you, I am a very light sleeper. The slightest noise wakes me up. If Fraulein Debenham had gotten out of her bed, I would have heard her. I got up this morning around 8 a.m. She was sleeping soundly.
Are you certain you would have heard her?
Yes. Why are you asking?
I spoke to Mademoiselle Debenham and she told me that she got up around 5 o'clock in the morning. She opened the door and looked down the corridor. It was then that she saw a woman in a red kimono. How do you explain that?
I think I must have been sleeping very soundly not to have heard it. Oh, but does that make me a suspect?
I am not accusing anyone, mademoiselle. Do not worry. I am just trying to determine what happened last night. Thank you for your testimony.
Pero sí, me parece sospechosa. Pese a lo extremadamente educada y dulce. A ver, coartadas. Este fumaba con este. Esta estaba durmiendo con esta. Michelle se fue con Java y este estaba jugando a las cartas.
That was easy.
Que fue el momento de pasión entre Michelle y... Y ya no sé cómo se llama. Miss Hubbard puede ser. Y por eso le saltó el botón. Por la pasión desenfrenada. Pasión desenfrenada. Turururururururu. Turururururururu. Y así, un movimiento sexy. ¿Ves? Esto es interesante. Esto en teoría es la membrana que une los trenes. Es decir, aquí debajo están los topes que unen vagones. A ver.
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
There is no trace of the murder weapon on the train, as yet. The killer could have hidden it anywhere.
It must be somewhere.
Indeed, as you say, it must be somewhere. According to Dr. Constantine's report, the stab wounds were made by at least one right-handed and one left-handed person, and with different strength. For the moment, everyone I have checked is right-handed. It is impossible to draw any conclusions as yet. However, I still have a few people to interrogate, notably the Russian princess.
You still have many avenues to explore?
Indeed, the case is far from over, mon ami. I identified the person responsible for the bottle of liquid for the vape found at the crime scene.
So, this is our culprit? Do we hold him?
No, unfortunately, this bottle belongs to Captain Arbuthnot, but he has an alibi, confirmed by Monsieur McQueen for the time of the murder.
Monsieur Bouc, Monsieur Poirot.
Michel, calm down.
But it's Mrs. Hubbard. She says she found the murder weapon in her room. She's very upset.
Let's go, Poirot.
Vaya, acabamos de hablar sobre que el cuchillo no aparece y aparece. ¿Coincidencia? No lo creo. Que el guión haga de su magia.
I demand to be allowed to leave this train!
Perfecto.
We are in the mountains.
Puede irse.
Trapped in a snowdrift.
Stating the obvious, there is a murderer among us. He had the audacity to hide his weapon in my room.
Please, Madame Hubbard, take a deep breath and tell us what occurred. Where did you find the knife?
I wanted to get a handkerchief from my purse, and when I opened it, I saw it! A bloody knife! Am I next to be murdered?
I very much doubt the murderer would give you his weapon.
What do you mean?
Madame, he would have used it.
Oh, I haven't!
¿Qué tacto tiene? Tiene tanto tacto como un cactus en el culo.
Did you touch the knife?
Of course not. What a question.
I will take that as a no.
Perfecto. Veamos. Botella de agua, guantes, gafas de sol, una chocolatina, un móvil, pero no hay pañuelos. Pero nos interesa la prueba principal. A.
Is this knife the real murder weapon or is it a red herring?
La geometría del filo está muy bien, me gusta. Parece un cuchillo ritual. Perfecto, lo dejaremos donde está.
Mrs. Hubbard is distraught, Poirot. I should stay with her. Please go on without me.
I have every right to be distraught. Thank you, Mr. Book.
¿Le seguirán colgando las canillas? Sí, le siguen colgando las canillas. Perfecto. A ver, ¿con quién tengo que hablar ahora? Vale. Hablar con Constantine. Que estaba en primera clase. No, no estaba en primera clase, estaba en segunda. Estaba en segunda con la detective. Es que primera clase tenga los números 200 y que segunda clase tenga los números 100 me está volviendo loco. Cinco.
Dr. Constantine, we may have found our murder weapon. We need to make certain.
There is a pretty quick way to be sure. I have estimated the depth of the wounds. You can easily find the depth of each wound by comparing the width. There are 5 of them that I am not sure about. Test them, and then we will compare our results.
I will do as you say, Doctor.
Vale, la cuestión es que el salto ese que ha habido en la primera frase de Poirot no lo he provocado yo. Vale.
This is wrong. But I must admit I'm not right this time. No, not good.
Vale. Y este es más pequeño. Y este es aún más pequeño.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer.
No sé qué
That was easy.
lógica tiene eso,
What do you
pero
think,
bueno.
Doctor? Is this knife really the murder weapon?
There can be no doubt. You found the same depths as the estimate I made during the preliminary autopsy. I can assure you that you hold in your hands the weapon that took Ratchet's life.
Thank you. I feel way better now.
The rest gave you time to sleep off most of the effects of the drug.
I'm still a bit groggy.
That's understandable.
Are you able to continue your story now?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Where was I?
You were explaining how you returned to the Armstrong house to tell them their poor little child was dead.
Yes, that's it. I felt helpless. My part in the case was officially over, but I knew I couldn't let it go. Daisy deserved justice.
A ver, debo decir que el hecho de jugar activamente la investigación del secuestro está muy bien planteado y los minijuegos que hay en el juego no son extremadamente difíciles.
2 days later, I returned to the Armstrong house to tell them Daisy would be released soon for burial. I was angry with myself that I couldn't bring them better news. I wasn't prepared for more tragedy.
Y no rompe mucho el ritmo de investigación. Muy bien, pues esto ha sido todo en las chorriaventuras de Blood Cloud, el asesinato en el Orient Express. Hasta la próxima. Adiós.